This is Neil Schneider for MTBS-TV at E3 Expo. To my immediate right is senior producer for Alien Isolation, Jonathan Court. Welcome to the program, Jonathan.
Hi, how are you?
I'm thrilled, actually, that we got in touch because your game has been a tremendous hit at E3. I congratulate you for this. Tell us about Alien Isolation for those who aren't familiar.
So Alien Isolation is a first-person survival horror. It takes place 15 years after the disappearance of the Nostromo, and it features Amanda Ripley, Ellen Ripley's daughter, as she looks for what happened to her mother.
Poor Ripley family. It's not enough that one Ripley has to go through this ordeal. Now you've got the kids involved too. So tell us what the object of the game is.
Okay, so you go to this festival space station because they've located the black box and they've taken it to there. You board the Sevastopol to locate the black box, and very quickly you realise the chaos and anarchy that's going on there, and very soon you're trying to get off as quickly as you can.
So is it like you're trying to get from stage to stage? Is that the core of the game?
Yeah, there's a story that draws you through the game, through the world. I mean, this festival is a very big station. There's lots of environments that the story takes you through.
And I gather there's an alien involved in there somehow. Tell us about this.
Yeah, so we took a very challenging route with our alien. We felt to some extent previous games had done us a disservice, treating the alien almost like fodder, arming the player with a machine gun and allowing the player to machine gun, lots of them down. And so we wanted to go back to the original Alien movie as our inspiration. One fierce, mean, scary alien that hunts the player relentlessly. So that's what we've done, and it was a challenging route. There's a reason it hasn't been done before. It's because it's hard. But we had faith in our team, and we delivered on all those components. And it's brilliant to be here at E3 and seeing everyone playing it, and the reactions we're getting as they come off our booth.
Now, are there any other humans involved in the story? Is your character completely alone?
There are humans as part of the narrative, but there are also human inhabitants of the space station, and that creates an interesting dynamic between them, you, and the alien, as you can use effectively them as bait sometimes to get past the alien, and so it creates some fantastic situations. When we were looking at the level that we've come to E3 with, and we were looking at this on a daily basis, we created some fantastic situations, or we witnessed some fantastic situations where, we would send the alien amongst the humans. You'd hear them screaming in anarchy, and panic, and the utter chaos going on at the end of the corridor. The player would hide under the bed. You'd be sat there in the dark. Suddenly you see these human legs go past the bed, and then you see the alien legs go past the bed, and then you'd hear the chaos at the other end of the corridor. And there's some fantastic situations, but it's all dynamic. None of it is orchestrated, and so it's every time we played it, we'd get a different situation.
Now, the Alien movies, they have a rich history. Do you put some stuff in the story as a toss back to the movies? Maybe some references people would be familiar with?
We're not going into too much detail about the story at this point. That's for you to discover.
Okay. And it's the discovery that makes things scary, I'm sure. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, playing this game, you're aware that alien presence is there all the time, and everything you do could potentially backfire. The alien responds to noise, the response to light, and so every situation, you have to think about how you're going to do it. And every situation you can do in multiple ways. You can evade it, you can distract it, you can take it head on, but there are consequences to every route that you take.
And what tools do you have at your disposal?
There's a crafting system. You can scavenge the world for lots of scarce resources, which allows you to craft various tools, various devices that you can use to help you through the world.
Excellent. Now, what excited me above and beyond the nature of the game is that I saw it as a virtual reality demo. Can you elaborate a bit as to what was involved with that?
Sure. So we've been developing it on the Oculus Rift system, which is a fantastic system. We've had great fun doing this. And so, on the latest kits, we've been, we've brought the game here, and you can play the game, the same demo that people are playing here, but in full 3D virtual reality, and it's fantastic. You can literally crouch behind stuff, and the game responds to the movement that the player does, and it's the situations and the the atmosphere that it creates is amazing.
Now, as a senior producer, I take it you're building it for traditional platforms and a virtual reality platform. Is the gameplay a little bit different between the two?
So at the moment we're using Oculus Rift as a test bed and experimental platform to see where we go. So yeah, we're not confirming anything on Oculus Rift at the moment.
Is the experience somehow different though?
No, it's very much the same. The game is kind of made for the Oculus Rift. I mean, it is, everything you do is very, it's a first-person game, and so, it's very much about you hiding and through the world, and it just seems, so suited to the Oculus Rift, which is why we sort of jumped on it in the early days to see what we could do with it, and see what it was like.
As a senior producer developing for this, did you come across any challenges producing for, let's say, a VR outlet versus a traditional platform?
There are some challenges, but they're relatively minor. I mean, it's relatively straightforward getting what we've got onto the Oculus Rift and supporting the motion tracking side of things. It's relatively straightforward and just good fun. I mean, a lot of the guys started working on this in their own time because they're so passionate about it, and it was just so great to see. And we had some funny experiences in the office, people actually shouting. We had one guy who went up to the table in the game and actually went to put the controller down on the table, so there's some funny things that happen.
So what platforms does Alien Isolation work on?
So Alien Isolation is going to release on Xbox One, Xbox 360, PS3, PS4 and PC.
Wonderful, wonderful. Now I know we've been talking about Oculus. Have you been putting any thought into other solutions like Sony Morpheus?
We've been looking at it.
And we're looking forward to a future where there's going to be all kinds of solutions on the market. Do you plan diversified support for this?
We're not sure yet. I mean, as I said, this is an experimental exercise that we're taking, and we're going to see where it takes us.
Wonderful. Well, very exciting stuff. You strike me as being equally excited by this VR.
Oh, it's brilliant. Yeah, I mean, people in the office absolutely love it, and the kind of experiences that we're having with it are absolutely phenomenal.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for joining. I'm glad we caught up with you.
Brilliant.
This is Neil Schneider for MTBS-TV at E3 Expo. Back with more. Thank you for watching.